Salutations, family. I I hope y'all are doing well on this dreary day. I mean, it's dreary here in this part of North Carolina today, but I know that the sun is shining somewhere. I know that. So but the rain, it did really truly inspire me to reflect, and I was thinking about the rain, and I was thinking about how it is needed, it's necessary. And then, of course, as above, so below, I started to think about how it feels when it's storming on the inside of us, and when it's when we're being triggered, put it like that. And the reason why I started thinking that way is because lately my meditations have been so hard. I've been in resistance a lot lately, and I don't like it. But I wanted to share that with you all as well, because a lot of my friends will hit me up and be like, Nakia, I just cannot focus. And I'm like, well, it's not about focus, it's about listening. And so one of the Rumi sayings, I really want to say that it's Rumi, is the wound is the space where the light enters you. And I was just thinking about the things that are triggering me, and I will share those things later, but I need to speak with the people in my orbit first before I just post a video willy-nilly about the things that are triggering me, because I don't want to hurt my constellation, you feel me? But I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are feelings, these are wounds that I thought had healed, but it's causing a point of aggravation. And for those of you who are who know maybe an amputee for those of you who know an amputee or may be an amputee, you know that there's a phenomena called phantom pain. And that is where there's a pain. Okay, they're just all in the road, no signs, standing in the middle of the road. Okay, that's safe. But there's a phenomena called phantom pain. And phantom pain it happens when someone has a limb that has been removed, and they still experience pain in that space that's been cut off. So someone who has had their leg removed, they might feel pain in their toe. Okay? And that is definitely a vibrational thing. It's a vibrational thing. And be safe. But and I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, I'm experiencing phantom pain. I'm experiencing pain in a space that exists no longer. And how do you heal that? Well, firstly, you must acknowledge it. You can't pretend that you're not in pain when you are. You can't pretend that you're not suffering when you are. And once you've acknowledged the pain, then your vibration comes into this space of submission. If you haven't watched Sage Wisdom on Surrender, please go back and watch it if it resonates with you. If the word surrender resonates with you, or even if it triggers you. If it triggers you, you definitely need to watch it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to, once you've acknowledged it, and your vibration goes into this space of surrender, you're no longer in resistance, and your energy flows again. When the energy starts to flow again, then you're in the vortex. If you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, then you understand what the vortex is. But she speaks about gratitude a lot. And as I was thinking this morning, the only thing that I could think about was, the people that I miss and the things that I miss. And so, of course, I felt like my vibration was going down, but the energy was very strong, And so I went from a space of feeling sadness and feeling like, oh, I've missed so many people, to a space of thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the Most High that I have memories of a grandmother that bring me to tears that she's not here, because she was that amazing of a woman. And I aspire to be like her. And there are people that have touched my life that I'm thankful for. And so even though, yes, it was sadness, I had to be grateful, and also grateful for the sadness as well, because it's a balance of emotions, the full spectrum of emotions. You don't deny yourself the opportunity to feel that full spectrum. Let the pendulum swing. If it swings that way, it's got to swing the other way. Allow it. Don't be in resistance. I was thinking about how the rain is needed for things to grow. The rain is needed for things to grow. I was thinking about trauma bonding, and all of these things are topics that we can talk about, in more detail on a different day together. But love is that vibration of accepting things and allowing things to come to form and allowing things to be what they are. And love covers a multitude of things, a multitude of sins. Love is that vibration of unconditional oneness. And so, when I was thinking about how these wounds and the phantom pain that was taking place, and I was just like, wow. You know what? Healing is never linear. And I've always known this, but I think that sometimes we forget that. We forget that healing is not linear. It's a cycle that you go through. And when we go through these cycles, it's important to allow the energy to just flow through. Don't get caught up in somewhere thinking that something is supposed to be a certain way. Healing is not linear. Memories can't be undone. Even people with Alzheimer's, they have their memories. They do. You hear them tell their stories. And for all of you out there that work with Alzheimer's clients, you know what I'm talking about. They have their memories. They're just not in the right order, per se. But as we heal, as we allow those phantom pains to be acknowledged, and we comfort ourselves, we are healing across timelines. And I know a lot of people don't believe or don't understand timelines and generational curses, ancestral pain, ancestral blessings and curses, okay? Because it's both. It's not just generational curses. We got generational blessings too that flow through our blood. And those are things to remember. But we allow those things, and we, as the things come up, we're able to clean them more. Clean. Don't push it back down. Don't brush it back under the carpet. When it comes up, face it. When it comes up, face it. Face it. And then listen. Listen to your heart. Listen to your body. Your body sends you messages, physical messages. You know, your body will clench up or it'll be tight in different places. Check in with your body throughout the day. Like, do you have your toes clenched and balled up? Do you have your shoulders kind of like, do you have your posture in this way? This posture right here is reflective of negative thoughts, because your spine is not erect, and your spine is your information highway. Okay, so if you are thinking negative thoughts, if you are in a position where you are unhappy, check your posture. Okay, that's important. And then as you deal with your emotional trauma, give thanks for it. Give thanks for it and release it for the moment. The funny thing about triggers is that triggers are very individual, and you have to respect your own triggers. You have to respect your own triggers. I have a trigger that when I tell people what it is, they're just like, what? How could that be a trigger? And I'm just like, but it's my trigger because of my memories, of my experiences in my life. That's why. That's why that's my trigger. Don't judge me. But your triggers are your triggers. I will never forget. I was riding in the car with one of my cousins, and this has been years ago. And I put on a song, and it was my jam. And I looked over at her, and she had tears flowing. And she said, I just don't want to hear this. It reminds me of X, Y, and Z. And I respected her and cut it off. And then after that, every time I would hear that same song, it was no longer my jam. Because when I would hear it, the only thing I remembered was feeling my cousin's pain as I looked at her. I shared that pain with her. I felt it with her. Empath, okay? And so I couldn't hear that song anymore without remembering her tears and her pain. But it was the jam, all right? And so triggers are individual. You have to respect your own triggers and love yourself and nurture yourself through it. And understand that phantom pain is no less real than a wound that you can see. Your spiritual wounds are worth acknowledging. Your spiritual wounds are worth acknowledging. And one saying that I love from church was, lay it on the altar. And I do. I do my altar work. I do my altar work at the house. But there is nothing more cleansing than literally taking something and speaking it like throw up, like speaking it into your hands and laying it down. Laying it down and letting it go. Letting it go. Okay? But, like I said, it's never linear. You know, it might be a time where something that you thought it may have happened 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and you thought you were over it. Don't suppress it. Don't hold it inside, because that hurts the heart. That hurts the heart space. And heart disease is the #1 killer in the world. So don't tell yourself that you're not allowed to deal with something as it comes up. And I just wanted to share that with you all. I'm on my way to the office, and but I wanted to definitely come by for whoever may have needed it. All right? So until next time, family, continue to vibrate love. Vibrate love. Vibrate well. Peace.